Okay, this is over lesson 9 in book 1, note values. Like we said before in the time signatures, the top number tells you how many beats each measure gets, and the bottom number tells you what note gets the beat. And like I said, we're only going to be using time signatures with the bottom number of 4. So you see both of these, the bottom number of 4, which tells you the actual note value. So remember this, the bottom number is the note value. So, in the last lesson we learned that 4 tells us that the quarter note gets 1 beat. So we know the value of 1 quarter note is worth 1 beat. And we know, since there's a 4 over this 4, that there can be 4 quarter notes in this measure. 4 quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's how many can be in that one measure. And then we can draw a measure line right here and say that's one measure in 4, 4. Now, when you talk about the value of those notes, we know each one is worth 1 beat. So we know this is beat 1, and then we go beat 2, beat 3, and beat 4, because each of them are worth 1 beat. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4. Quarter note, 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 quarter note. That'll take you the beats. But there are different notes that are worth more beats, like we learned in earlier lessons. Half note is worth 2 quarter notes. So I'm going to erase 2 of these quarter notes really quick. Draw on a half note right there. Remember the open stem. If it's below the 3rd line, the stem goes up on the right side. So I have this half note. And like I said before, how many quarter notes go into one half note? The answer is 2. And you know each quarter note is worth 1 beat, and you know there's 2 quarter notes in the half note. So how many beats does a half note get? It gets 2 beats. And so when you write it underneath it, you need to write it because you hold over those 2 beats. You have beats 3 and beat 4 right there, because you already have beat 1 and beat 2. Beat 1 and 2. And this takes up beats 3 and 4, but they're connected, so you want to draw a dash in between them. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what the dash means. 1, 2, 3, 4. You hold it out over both of those beats. Now in this time signature, 3, 4, we only have 3 beats in each measure, and the 4 on the bottom tells us the quarter note gets the beat, so the quarter note still gets the beat. So we can have 3 quarter notes in here, or the equivalent value of 3 quarter notes, but I want to add a half note in there. So we know we have 3 beats, and each of those beats is worth 1 quarter note, and I want to include a half note in this 3, 4 bar. So half note takes up how many quarter notes? Half note takes up 2 quarter notes. 2 quarter notes, and then you only have 3 beats in the measure, so what does that leave us with? If you take 3 minus 2 quarter notes, you're only left with 1 quarter note. So you know I can have a half note and 1 quarter note in that measure. So I have a half note right here, and I can have a quarter note. Now we need to write the beats underneath there. So for the beats, the beginning of each measure is always beat 1. Always beat 1 is the beginning of the measure. But this takes up 2 beats, 2 quarter notes, 2 beats. So we know beat 2 is also there, but this holds over it, so we put a dash in there. 1, 2. And then this is beat 3. So we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So now look at your student assignment. Look at number 1. You have a whole note. A whole note is worth 4 quarter notes. 4 quarter notes, so you have 4 whole beats in there. So you have to put 1, 2, 3, 4. You have to put dashes over all of them. So finish the student assignment for lesson 9. And when you're done with that, mark it complete. Remember, the beginning of each measure, so after that, a new bar line is always beat 1. After a new bar line is always going to be beat 1, no matter what. The first note after the bar line or the first rest after the bar line is always going to be beat 1. So remember that when you're completing lesson 9. Then mark it complete, and then complete student assignment lesson number 10 and mark that complete, and then go on to the next video after you've completed lesson 10.